guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're doing my YA Swap and Trade number 7. So it's been about 3 months since I've done one of these, so if you're not familiar with them, I will link the YA Swap and Trade playlist up here in the card so you can click on it and watch that first video. These are all books that I have traded with people that I've either met through YouTube or Instagram, or I'm part of a swap and trading group on Facebook where I sell and swap books for other books, basically. A lot of these, I'm going to warn you, are trades that I did from looking for other books for other people. So they weren't necessarily things that I was getting rid of. It was like duplicate copies or things I specifically sought out to find to get these books. So not necessarily a major unhaul on my end as far as getting rid of things I didn't want, but I'll make sure to point out the ones that I did do that with. Hopefully that makes sense. I do want to do a disclaimer here. I'm all about making friends in the book community and all that kind of stuff, but if you are going to be trading with someone on the internet, make sure that you really know the person that you're trading with, or they're at least part of a group that's pretty established where you're less likely to get scammed or to give your address to somebody that shouldn't be having it. Definitely ways of doing it safely and having a lot of fun, but just make sure that you're really careful if you are going to do this sort of thing. I use Media Mail to ship all my books. It's very cheap. You just have to make sure it's only books and there's nothing else in there. And yeah, basically it costs you like $3 to mail a book, and you can get some more books, which is awesome. Okay, so we are just going to get started with my newest book. I met a friend on Instagram who is Mermaid Mystique. I think I'll link her Instagram down below. She reads a lot of mermaid books and she's just really into mermaids like I am too, and she posted In Great Waters and by Kit Whitfield and said, just finished this mermaid beauty, does anyone want to trade? I have never heard of this one, which I thought was kind of impressive, and I have no idea what it's about or anything, but I'm all about mermaids. And so I sent her pictures of the mermaid books that I had left over that I didn't wind up sending out for the giveaway because a lot of international winners won, so I wound up mailing more bookmarks than I did books. And so I sent her an extra copy that I had of Atlantia by Ali Condé, which is one of my favorite mermaid books, but it's really a siren book. There's not actually mermaids with tails, but she was cool with that. And so we traded for this, so I'm excited to add this to next year's mermaid collection. Next, I got some books from my friend Britt Nicole. I'll link her YouTube channel again down below in the description. We made friends here on YouTube this year, and she has been awesome and mailed me a bunch of books, which I'm really excited about. So she sent me Crown of Coral and Pearl. This is an ARC copy of this book that I really need to get to. She won this off Goodreads and then mailed it over to me. So I need to not be a slacker and read this because it just came out a couple weeks ago. But it's kind of got it's not mermaid vibes, but ocean sea lore, and it's getting really good reviews so far, so I'm excited about that. I'm gonna apologize in advance because it's been so long since she sent me these, and I was saving them to do this video, that I'm pretty sure she sent me these next 3, but if you didn't, Britt, I'm really sorry. I lost some of my sticky notes, so I can't exactly remember, but I just wanted to make sure to thank everybody. So she sent me Fox by Nadine Brands. This is, I think Nadine Brands is a YouTube author that she does writing videos, and I know my friend Claire really liked this book, and so I was excited to read it because this is kind of a retelling of I can't remember what this is a retelling of, but it looks awesome. Then she sent me Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh, and this is just another fantasy series I want to get to. Pretty sure she sent me Courting Darkness by Robin LaFeathers. I think it was Britt. I'm sorry if it wasn't. This is the new book set in Brave Mercy series or whatnot, which I still need to get to, and I think this one came out this year or early last year. And I'm just really excited to have this, for sure. And then I did send her a few books, and I really apologize because I can't remember what they were exactly, but I've also got a list of things to kind of keep an eye out for her as well, to thank her, because she definitely sent me more than I sent her, and I was just really grateful. So thanks, Britt. Then I had a copy of Reimagined by Colleen Hooke, and it was an ARC, and yeah, I've just decided that if I find ARCs, I'm just going to trade them for other things for the most part, because the girls on the swap group really like to collect ARCs, and if I read it, it can kind of get it ruined because they're paperback. So I traded my copy of Reimagined by Colleen Hooke for Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, which I read last year and loved. It's one of my very favorite mermaid books. It's a retelling of The Little Mermaid, but it's like Ursula's backstory. It had a second book that came out. I talked about this one again in my August wrap up, so you guys can watch that because I rave about it for the second time. Then I made a new friend, Lindsay, and she and I have been doing multiple trades, and she has been super awesome. She tends to pre-order books and then not realize that they're going to be in bookish boxes, so she sent me like a bunch of awesome like brand new books, and so because of that I sent her like way more of the older books because I can find them for cheaper, and just to like thank her for sending me new stuff. So I gave her the Eternity Cure by Julie Kagawa, Elite by Kiera Cass, an Arc of Fates, a Copper Gauntlet, I think, and a bunch of other like older books. Eternity Cure was the only one that I unhauled. Just because it was like the third book in a series. So she sent me Last Voyage of Poe Blythe by Ali Condie. Ali Condie is the writer of Atlantia that I talked about earlier that I really love. And this is like a piratey ocean dwelling series again. So I was got a lot of these this summer that I was hoping to read this summer, but I didn't quite get to it. She sent me Sky Without Stars by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell, something like that. So this is a retelling Les Mis set in space. So that sounds great. This book is super chunky. I'm debating on listening to it or reading it. Usually if I get new books, I like to read them physically just because they're new and I have them. So we'll see. I'm really pumped for this one. Then she had a copy of Red Rising. Yay! One of my favorite books of this year. So I like to keep these on my shelves of my favorite books. I like to keep them on my favorite shelves. So now I have this one and Morning Star, so I just need a couple more, but definitely one of my favorite series, adult sci-fi goodness. She sent me Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, and this is a fantasy series based on like a magical seamstress. Great. It just came out like not very long ago. The Beholder by Anna Bright. This is like a grand tour on the ocean, so it's kind of got like selection and like ocean-y vibes. Really pumped. Also came out earlier this year. And then she sent me Spinning Silver by Naomi Novak, which I want to read this winter for sure because Uprooted was one of my favorite books of last year. So this is a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, but Naomi Novak's writing is it's just epic and amazing, at least from Uprooted, and I loved it so much, so I'm excited to read another book from her, and also it's so pretty. Lastly, she had a copy of Finale. This is the third book in the Caraval series that I read earlier this year and absolutely loved it. One of my favorite series ever. I especially like following Stephanie Garber on Instagram. She's really fun and adorable. So hooray! I made another new friend, Alyssa. So hi Alyssa if you're watching. And she was so kind. She will not let me send her books. So I need to do something special for her because she's like, I just don't need anything. But she was unhauling some things and sent them to me. So she sent me this Lament by Maggie Stiefvater, The Fairy Queen's Deception. I've never heard of this. I didn't really know that Maggie Stiefvater wrote like fairy stuff, but super excited for that one. She sent me Daughters of Ruin by Katie Kastner. So this is about three sisters that are enemies, which is awesome. So it's kind of giving me like Three Dark Crown vibes. And then she sent me Beheld by Alex Flynn. I believe this is a Snow White retelling. I have a bunch of Alex Flynn books. I need to read them to see if I actually like her writing style, but I love pretty much all retellings in general, so yay, thank you, Alyssa. Then I traded an arc that I had of The Diabolic. Sorry, I'm reading it right now, so I just have the dust jacket. For Summer Days and Summer Nights, 12 Love Stories, edited by Stephanie Perkins, and there's lots of different authors in here. I read the winter anthology that's the same thing my true love gave to me last Christmas, and I absolutely loved it. So I didn't get to this one quite yet. I'm just kind of reading it slowly, but I was excited because I loved that other anthology. And then lastly, my friend Jessica also sent me The Beauty of Darkness. And I don't remember honestly what I sent her when I sent her for it, but she had this book. This is the third book in the Remnant Chronicles, and now I have them all, so I have no excuses. I need to read them. So that was it for all my YA swap and trade videos. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know if it's annoying that I'm swapping for things that I've like gone out and searched for, if you would rather me just include this in my hauls, or if you like this like YA swap and trade kind of conversation that I'm having with you guys. I just think it's cool that I'm making like bookish friends, and it's just fun to get books in the mail because I don't really order anything online. I usually just go hunting, and I have a really hard time finding new releases, so that's what most of my trades are, because most of the girls are into new releases and I don't really find them at my used bookstores, and I'm cheap, so I don't buy them for full price. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this YA swap and trade haul. Like I said, I'll link all those videos I talked about up here in the cards, and I will see you guys next time on the bright side. Bye!